George Santos is doing like remember Madison Cawthorn got driven out by his Republican colleagues, and he started like telling some stories about what he heard there. George Santos is also like, a different type of guy because
he was never fully accepted by the Republican establishment, though. Like, I feel like I don't know what value he has to tell.
Well, he has some stories like that he seems to be telling. Here's a series of Santos tweets that he has decided that what he's going to do when he got kicked out of Congress is he said, my community service will be to clean up Congress of its corrupt frauds in a bipartisan way. My road to redemption will be serving the American people. This is what he said in a tweet. Do we have that one? I don't think we do.
This is the first one. We have all the others.
Okay, and then we have a bunch more. First, he announces that he is filing an official complaint with the Office of Congressional Ethics against Representative Nicole Maliotokis. She is a
from Staten Island
Republican who voted to expel him. Now, remember, all of the New York Republicans had to vote to expel him because even the Republican Party from his district called for his resignation like before he even, I think, was seated.
Yep.
And so that was a year and a half ago. So they've got to vote to get him out of office. And he writes, Monday, I'll be filing an official complaint with the Office of Congressional Ethics. This was last week he wrote this, so he did it yesterday, against Nicole Maliotokis, regarding her questionable stock trading since joining the Ways and Means Committee this Congress. Before joining the committee, the Congresswoman didn't have an active trading habit or a high-volume stake. The question is, what set of information is she trading with? Yep.
He also basically outed her on Twitter.
Oh, well, let's see that too. I mean, listen, free speech.
He calls her Nicole Malio Stock Tips.
Yes.
That's also quite fun.
Let's talk about hypocrisy. Can someone ask, is she, okay, and she went on TV and said, I'm voting to expel George Santos. Here's why. And he quote tweeted, can someone ask Nicole Malio Stock Tips? When did she become a savant in stock trading? Signature bank trades she did reeks of her insider trading, much like Paul Pelosi's every trade. Nicole is in it for herself. Just look at the record. It speaks for itself. Nicole Malio Stock Tips is a dirty, dishonorable swamp creature selling the American people down a river for her own benefit. Nicole Maliotokis, the difference between you and I is that I don't live in denial. I'm a proud gay man and not afraid to say it.
Winky face.
Winky face. Is she a proud gay man, do you think?
Well, I think the implication is that she's a not so proud gay woman.
Oh, all right. Fair. George Santos is really having a time.
He really is.
And then he announces the next day, on Monday, I will be filing an ethics complaint against Representative Mike Lawler for questionable campaign finance violations. Again, another New York, I think it's 22.
Yeah, I'll double check it, but it's Westchester, County.
Another New York congressperson. And is this the one that, who's running against? Is this the one that, Mondale? Yeah, Mondale Jones is running against. Oh, it's New York 17. And Congressman Lawler owns a portion of Checkmate Strategies, and he uses the same firm that he's a beneficiary of to pay for services related to his campaign. Interesting. The concerning questions are, is Mr. Lawler engaging in laundering money from his campaign to his firm and then into his own pocket?
I mean,
I will let the Office
Santos
of Congressional Ethics be the judge of that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes one to know one, ladies and gentlemen. And then,
Oh my God.
Later that day, he says on Monday, the third ethics report I'll be submitting to the Office of Congressional Ethics is on Representative Lalata. Lalata is
He's a Long Island Republican. He's one of the people beside him and Anthony D'Esposito on Long Island who introduced the expulsion resolution after it was referred by the Ethics Committee.
It has been raised in the local media that Congressman Lalata obtained his JD attending Hofstra in day school while he was supposed to be working at the Board of Elections at the same time. The questionable actions are, did Lalata no-show to his taxpayer-funded job while going to school? And if so, maybe it was potentially, have stolen public funds from the taxpayers of New York.
I mean, he tweeted this at 12:19 a.m.
He's having a time.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, I think he's still on the East Coast. I will let the Office of Congressional Ethics determine the validity of this grave allegation raised in his local media. So he has been busy. And my understanding is that until his term ends, he's still allowed to be on the floor of the House. I'm not exactly sure about that. I got to double check that. But like, you can get expelled, but you still have speaking privileges.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I'll double check this as well, but I do believe even when you were expelled, you have floor privileges for until the next election cycle. But this one also is against Brandon Williams, another New York Republican congressman.
This is more than I thought. I mean, this actually is. Yeah, he collected some dirt.
Update on the outlandish behavior of Representative Williams. I am told that there will be an ethics complaint filed with the OCE and potentially a police report for assault. A very drunken Brandon Williams attacked two former staffers who resigned from his office earlier this year due to his terrible temperament and awful treatment of his staff. Brandon on Thursday, November 30th, physically assaulted one of the staffers after he threatened the other one by saying he would end him. Long story short, this is just more exposure of the rot and decay of the pompous a-holes in Washington, D.C. that, quote, represent no one but themselves. Representative Williams should resign in disgrace for attacking young staffers and always being in a drunken tirade in the chambers, reeking of alcohol. I don't have a horse in the race, so I won't file the complaint, but look forward to sharing a copy when it's given to me. I don't understand. He doesn't have a horse in that race, but he has a horse in the other races?
He doesn't have a horse in this race, but he will say that he's always drunk in the Capitol.
Did Williams vote against him or not? To expel him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's maybe not a horse in a race, but he has a bone to pick.
He has a horse in the race. Maybe he has just like a different animal in the race.
Yeah.
Not one that's necessarily going to win, but certainly wants to be racing in it. Now, to be fair, is that it that we have for Santos so far? There's one more. He's not done, ladies and gentlemen. Monday's fourth ethic report. This is he wrote this on that like 20 minutes later, at 12:42 a.m. Will be filed on Congress Menendez, not to be confused with the senator.
So Robert Menendez.
While Congressman Menendez has not been invoked by the diligent investigations of the DOJ into his father. Oh, is this Menendez's son? Oh, I didn't realize he was a congressman. There remains a question of what did he know, when did he know it? The complaint is to seek clarification from the freshman congressman on his involvement with his father's overseas dealings over the years and any potential compensation he received. I think it's a fair point to make sure that we weed out the doubts surrounding Representative Menendez and his business associations with his father. I'll leave it to the Office of Congressional Ethics to investigate the material I'll be submitting to them. I wonder what material he's going to be submitting. Now, there's one more twist to this.
Yes.
Lest you think that you can just become an ethics, a good government, warrior. That doesn't pay the bills. Mm-hmm. You need a way of raising money. And George Santos has found it. He is on Cameo, folks. And
I gotta see what his price is.
I'm not sure what his price.
$200. That's pretty
reasonable.
I mean, middle of the pack, right?
And Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania, has been trying to get Senator Bob Menendez to resign.
Yeah, and then this also, is a good little stunt to get people to forget that he's been enthusiastically cheerleading a genocide.
Without a doubt. And Menendez, there was some tough news that came out from Menendez yesterday, and that was that apparently the gold bars he has in his possession, which he supposedly got because he was afraid of, he learns that you gotta diversify, and it's got to be kept in your closet, because if you leave it somewhere else, you may not have access to it, are specifically tied to a person who has been investigated for bribing Menendez. And the thing about gold bars is they have serial numbers on it. So the gold's not as fungible. And because this guy had claimed that his gold bars had been stolen at one point by perpetrators, it's a different story, and they were recovered, the crime reports, I should say, the robbery reports, has the serial numbers of these gold bars in the robbery reports.
Linked to the guy that was, involved in the corruption
gold
deal. Right.
I have
so there's records
gold
of it.
bar number, GA577643221, whatever it is. And 4 of those ended up in Rob Menendez's closet. And now, does that mean that there was a quid pro quo? No, but there's now a very clear quid. And one should hope, I think the idea that this is getting leaked, I have a theory about this. They've already questioned Senator Menendez, I would imagine, and they've already questioned this guy who supposedly bribed him. And if they never mentioned the gold, Menendez may have a bit of a problem. And so maybe you leak this as a way of creating a little pressure on Senator Menendez.
Good theory.
But if that doesn't work, a cameo from George Santos might.
Hey, Bobby. Look, I don't think I need to tell you, but these people that want to make you get in trouble and want to kick you out and make you run away, you make them put up or shut up. You stand your ground, sir, and don't get bogged down by all the haters out there. Stay strong. Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, his Merry Christmas has like an undertone of of evil underneath it, as it should.
Yep.
As it should.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. George Santos is, I don't know, final act?
Yeah.
Second to final act?
I mean, he's going to be doing that interview with Ziwe, right? Is that how you say her name? Yeah, Ziwe. She's kind of like I don't know she has a TV show on Showtime, right?
Yeah. She's kind of like a little bit of a gotcha
interviewer. Yeah.
She's very funny.
So they're going to sit down together. That'll be good.
Milton Apathy says, there's no way I'd hang around and do that to my kids. No way. His daughter and son are professionals in the middle of their careers. Why do this? So selfish. She's talking about Menendez hanging out there is going to implicate kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much it's hindering them necessarily, because Menendez's daughter is being floated to have an MSNBC gig as they oust.
She was on there. She's been working there for a while.
She has been?
Oh, yeah. Didn't she? Wasn't she one of the 4 or whatever it was that they did?
Menendez's daughter.
Or maybe I'm thinking Abby Hudson, but she's been in MSNBC on and off
I guess
for
she's
quite a
done
while.
Her dues, yeah.
Well, I don't know if she paid her dues. I mean, I've got to think that it probably helped her get the job.
Sure.
Been there since 2020.